Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Network, and today is another Pokétheory, the series where as we get more info for Pokemon Sword and Shield, different ideas and theories might pop in my head, and since I already have a YouTube channel, why the heck not? On the 7th of August, we got our newest trailer showing off a few new elements of the games. A few new Pokemon with the Galarian forms, and even some of the region forms now able to evolve into brand new Pokemon, which was pretty cool. But more importantly, we got to look at two new rivals, and that point alone is interesting. You have a total of 3 rivals so far with Hop, Bede, and Marnie. And Marnie is the focus of this theory video. I'm going to go over my thoughts on this character's story arc. What we know about Marnie is she is also on the league challenge to become the champion of Galar. She is calm and calculated in her battle strategy, and she has an entourage team that seems to be thoroughly obsessed with her. On top of that, Team Yell seems to be actively working against the other trainers wanting to become champion and attempting to get in their way. But from what it seems, it doesn't look like Marnie really cares about Team Yell. I don't think she hates them, but she is more indifferent to them being around, and I would assume Team Yell does their, well, not really evil, as just battling you is not really, evil, but mean deeds when she is not around to really see it. We also know one of her Pokemon is Morpeko, the not Pikachu of Galar. Morpeko has the ability to change form into the Hangry mode, best mode name ever, and use Dark-type moves. I feel Morpeko is her Pokemon because Marnie has a side she doesn't show anyone. She keeps hidden from the world around her because she feels the only way to become champion is to be cold and calculated, to be precise in her battles. But she also has a softer side. Notice how Morpeko's full belly mode has 2 different colored side stripes. The right side is dark, much like how his Hangry mode it has, but the left side is more of a brown color. His Hangry mode stripes are both black. This is leading me to believe that there is a second form change, a nicer mode to Morpeko beyond the full belly mode, and could reflect the different sides of Marnie.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
I feel early on we will see her softer side in a moment when you, the player, run into her in a wooded area or someplace secluded. She doesn't see you, but you see her smirking and playing with Morpeko, the only thing in the world she shows her true self to. She of course notices you and plays it off as she was acting like that because it makes Morpeko happy, and that's not her real self. As the story continues and you battle her a few more times, she starts to get annoyed. Not at you per se, but at not only losing, making her question her strategies, but with Team Yell. They're becoming more and more annoying, vocal, and she's starting to notice how they are trying to help her when she doesn't want or need it. Potentially even interrupting a battle with you to take over so she doesn't lose again. She gets to a breaking point, realizing that she needs to change her attitude toward battling and tells Team Yell to get lost forever. You see her hug Morpeko and it transforms into the other form, hug form, sure. Marnie smiles and declares that she will use a mixture of her old tactics and new ones to become the true champion of Galar. Team Yell is not happy with how things have turned out though. Disowned by the trainer they loved and worshipped. But they don't blame their negative and toxic choices. They don't even blame Marnie. They blame you. You caused her to yell at them. It was your fault she called for Team Yell to disband. They come up with a new plan to win over the affection of their beloved trainer. Not that it's the greatest plan. They kidnap Marnie and take her to their lair, base, whatever, telling her that they blame you and that the only way to become champion is with them by her side. They are her true fans and they do anything to make her champion and be the version of her that they adore and worship. I know, not subtle to the whole bring back the National Dex thing, but I see it happening. Side note, I fully believe fans have the right to be upset and protest features they believe should come back like the National Dex, something that's been established for the last 7 generations. As long as it's civil, and no, posting on every Nintendo Pokemon tweet about it is not being civil. There are healthy ways to get your feelings out about this. Back on topic, you of course hear about the kidnapping and run off to their lair and battle through hordes of them just to be confronted with Marnie herself. But, and this part gets hard to nail down, Team Yell has control over her in some way. Mind control, let's say with a head device, and the more they yell, the more control they have. They force her to battle you as she once was. Through the power of love, friendship, heart of the cards, and possibly grinding your Pokemon to a higher level, you defeat her, causing the mind control to be broken. She tells Team Yell she was sorry for having them follow her for so long. She feels bad that she caused them to do this. She feels bad that it got to the point where they were so obsessed that they kidnapped her. That she blamed herself a little bit, but she also scolds them for their action. Even though she played a part, she tells them they were 100% wrong in what they were doing, that they need to move on from worshipping her. In the aftermath, she of course thanks you for saving her. that she has never had a human be a true friend like you have been to her before. She declares she is a new trainer, but still vows to make it as the champion of Galar and will defeat you to make sure her dream comes true. And that is my Pokétheory on Marnie. What do you think? I do hope she has a bit of a personality change to see that friends are important. I really do think Morpeko will have another form to mirror Marnie, as she has different sides to herself in the game. The side characters could really be fleshed out and truly relatable, and even if this theory is way off, I hope they still give Marnie plenty of character growth and time to shine in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Thank you for joining me here at the Nintendo Network. What are your thoughts on Marnie? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe even help me out on Patreon. And don't forget, I'm nearing my 1,500 subscriber milestone. I have a post on the community tab on YouTube for you to ask your questions for me to answer in a Q&A coming up once I hit that milestone. Now if you'll excuse me, I didn't think I'd actually get a second Pokétheory video going, so I'm going to roll with it. Maybe next time I'll talk about how Galarian Weezing looks familiar.